Good morning. Good morning, everyone. How are you? Good to see everyone here. Glad to be here on time. New year. What's the saying? New year, new me. Why not, right? Why not? And speaking of new year, new things, my lovely husband, hi, sweet angel. He was here on time, and he said to himself, let me get this lovely lady a little beverage. You are going to roast your cojones off in this little bundle of warmth. No, Thomas Andrews, sweetheart, I hate to ever skip down the chat. The Mr. was on time, and so was the Mrs. But he thought to be a gentleman and offer. He had his beverage. How sweet of a cup. And he said, do you have your beverage? And I said, no, I do not. So he said, allow me to get your beverage. What a gentleman, right? What a gentleman. See, folks, I say it all the time. There is no time that's too late to turn over a new leaf. Am I right? Am I right? Okay. What a great start. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year to everybody. Merry Christmas to all. We had to cancel our Christmas live, right? Just busy with work. That's what it really comes down to. We start early in the morning so we could give us the rest of the day. But with the influx of snow, a lot of repairs and a lot of things just in general to catch up on. So we had to take that as a priority, but a little bit caught up now. We still have a few more repairs to do. We sold 38 out of 40 snowblowers in 48
heat on in here?
48 hours. I don't touch the heat.
I'm going to have to start taking layers off, and I don't have many layers on.
We sold 38 snowblowers in 48 hours. It was a fantastic team effort. Worked out really, really well. I probably have seller's remorse on one machine. That machine was actually featured on the channel maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. Forget. That's how long we've had some of these machines because of lack of snow. There is snow literally falling on the ground at the beginning of our snowstorm. And he wanted to negotiate. And I probably should have negotiated. He offered $100 less. We were asking, we wanted $800 for it. And I said no. And he drove about a half hour away. We didn't drive that far. We drove 5 minutes. So he took that half-hour trip back, and we ended up getting the machine. So the next person to come look at that machine a couple days later offered us a lot less. And I'm like, So we'll see. I don't know. It's been a fluctuation of cold and warm weather. I don't see a snowstorm in sight. I just don't get that. I just don't get that feeling.
Hold on. My friends, who knows the Golden Girls, right? Ken, you're here. You're usually my friend.
We'll go through the chat.
You're my friend who knows all the things that I know. Do we not remember the live that took place back in November where, I hate to say it, but many of you, including Negative Nancy over here, doubted a December storm, and Nostradamus Mrs. over here said, halt with the negative thinking. The original abridged version of the Farmer's Almanac was calling for a storm in December between the 11th and the 19th. And he sat here along with someone in the neighborhood. I will not mention names. I am not that person. And everybody poo-pooed that thought. Well, let me just say, I know I'm dating myself because this is well below my generation, but Mrs. Pate, I made it rain during that storm, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, we do snow removal.
I did a phenomenal job racking it up during the snowstorm in December on here, the North Coast here. And I have to tell you,
East Coast, North Shore.
Fine. But if you want to take out your notepad, there's more coming. So I may not be able to give you the winning lotto numbers or may not be able to give you the winning horse. But if you're looking for a little bit more in snowblower sales, or if you're looking to get out there on your snowblower hustle, there is another one coming. Hold on, Negative Nancy.
Not negative.
No. What do we call you? Doubtful Debbie?
Nope.
Doubtful Debbie. There is another storm heading, not as much in January, but first week of February, folks. Get out your thermals and get your duckbill boots going and get those blowers blowing, because that's the big one here on the North Coast. Northeast coast. I'm very tired. I got very minimal sleep. Apparently we have neighbors that like to bicker in early morning hours now. Another story. But we're not done. We're not done.
A guy is traveling 3 hours today to buy a snowblower from us. 3 hours. Not any snowblower. A Pat Taste Performance snowblower. And believe it or not, yesterday morning, I was having a discussion with another YouTuber, a fellow flipper and fixer. Maybe you guys know who it is. Maybe you guys don't. For most of you guys who think you know what it is, he is not local here. Close, but not local. And we were having a discussion about reputation and different types of snowblowers that you choose to fix and flip. And I told him basically, that we've worked very, very hard. I'd say we've been doing this, 4 years now, but 3 out of the 4 years, this is when things really went to a whole nother level. And I told him that basically I refuse to do work, refuse to repair and flip a certain style or brand of machine. And I told him, even though I don't advertise what I do, people will take notice, because we've also talked about, we were on Steve Small Engine Saloons, they were talking about how all of my ads are well written and well descripted. So nobody else has them like that, which is fine. So it's very easy to tell who sells what and where I am from. And this gentleman is very confident that he's taking a 3-hour ride one way. So that's a 6-hour ride 2 ways for a snowblower. And of course, I am compensating him, but only $50. We were talking all day yesterday. Actually, I was trying to shoot a video. And
we're not going to shoot someone in the foot. We understand there could be a little gas involved. I understand a toll. I mean, we're not martyrs here. I mean, come on now.
So I know that, so basic point being is that, stick to what you know. And, sometimes, we have to pass up on certain things because there's just not value in there for us. And there's certain machines that I just refuse to and will not stake my reputation on it. I mean, as you guys know, I be as honest as much as I can in reference to this particular snowblower. I'm not sure if he's had it featured a lot on his channel, so I don't want to say it, but there's just a certain machine from a certain year I just refuse to do anything with. I mean, if I happened to get one for free, I would probably create a whole new account, probably drag it out to like some pasture, shoot pictures on that, and then do a different ad so people can't make that tie to me. I'm not a fan of this snowblower in particular. But anyway, let's see what's going on. And I have to
say, and just connecting to what you just said now,
okay,
it goes along a lot with two things. And I just have to mention one more thing in regards to snowblowers. A lot of people, and it came up even on Steve's Saloon last night, which was, I have to just say, Steve, hats off. Just a great guy. Great panel last night. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, check it out.
We had two great panels.
Excellent. I mean,
We were surprised.
Let's be honest. In this community, there's just great people, and we're just fortunate to be a part
2
of
minutes,
it.
and then we'll go to the chat.
But just let me finish my thought. That's the one thing that when people reach out to us with questions, and we get asked questions on panels, and we get, I can't even tell you lately the amount of questions that are coming in through private messenger and Instagram. And a lot of them are questions that they're asking him about the machines, as far as like how he's doing it in the startup and how do you do it. He's doing a lot of teaching on the side lately. And they're also asking a lot of questions on, like, they're not getting the turnout like we're getting the turnout lately. And I have to tell you guys, there's no secret in the recipe. There really isn't. But if I could share one thing, this is not bragging. It's not boastful. May I finish, Lovebuck? You can get to that in a moment. It's not bragging. It's not boastful. This is not meant to come across in any other way than I just give you facts. There's nothing other than that. We both have careers. Bottom line. We are very fortunate to do extremely well. We're neither rich, we're neither poor, but we've worked our rear ends off to get where we are in our careers right now. And I have to tell you, I can speak for myself. The sky's the limit where I'm at right now. I mean, I am in a position this year where things are going, there's big things coming for Mrs. Pate in her career. And then my 2 side businesses are rocketing right now. This man, same, rocketing. So when it comes to this and what we do, we went into Pate's performance by saying, we will not put out a machine. We will not go into this without it being something that we stand behind. And if we're not going to do it well, we're not doing it at all. So there will be people who will say when they see our ads, oh, that's so much. Why do you write so much? There will be people when they see so many photographs, and honestly, I'll give him a thumbs up all day long on his photographs for our ads. They look like they're professionally done 9 times out of 10. And I will say it over and over again. The ads, the photos, the product, they sell themselves. And where I'm going with this, back when the Mr. got these lowball ads for snow blowers over the last 1.5 years, 2 years when we didn't get snow, and I kept telling him, hold out, hold out. We're getting snow at some point. And other people in the biz told him, cut some prices, get rid of some equipment. And we wouldn't. And I said, hold firm. Look who had the final laugh during the storm. 38 machines sold. And let me tell you, when you have a client list a mile long for snow removal and you're pushing out 38 machines in less than 72 hours, do you think either he or I had the time with full-time careers that we will not step away from and go on a phone? We will not. Do you think we could sit there and discuss with people details about these machines or get lowball offers? You betcha we didn't. We simply said, refer to the ad. Everything's in there. And when people would ask questions about, is this machine going to get me through a storm? Is it going to get me through next year? Our products speak for themselves. So when you do what you do, if you can check off all those boxes, did you write the ad thoroughly? Are your pictures good? Are they thorough? Can someone swipe through and answer their own questions? And when you went through that product, does it sell itself? Can you be sure of it? And can you have the nerve to sit there and hold firm to your price? If you can check those boxes, then you deserve to be doing what you're doing and stand firm to your prices. There's no magic behind this. So if you're just starting out, it's as simple as that. It really is. We haven't figured out the secret sauce. There really isn't.
I'll say, you know what, we'll go to the panel, but then
And I
I
wanna
can sit
say
there.
hello
There
to
is no,
everyone for
there is no
sure.
secret sauce. It's hard work and it's dedication. We're probably going to do a video on how to start or how we got involved separately. And I swear it's simple. It's very, very simple. But I feel that we spoke about this. Maybe if you guys, some of you guys in the panel have been here a long time. I feel part of this has been missing recently, just in general in the workforce, and that is definitely hard work, and that's what it is. A lot of hard work and dedication. Anyhow, let's go to the panel.
And I have to agree with you there,
Can we
honey.
go to the panel?
Yes, but when you say something that absolutely resonates, I want to give you credit on it. I'm sorry. I'm a firm believer that when a husband says something, he deserves a little credit. I don't think
Henry, Happy New Year. How are you?
Henry, I have to say, I may not, and we don't always get as many opportunities to jump on as many lives as we truly would love to.
We'll go back to lives.
But,
Mike,
but Henry, you're doing great on them.
How are you?
Happy New Year.
Breezy's, how are you? Happy New Year.
Breezy, good morning.
Long time no see. Okay, John at Turning Wrenches. Okay, so talking about lives.
So proud.
We barely watch TV anymore. I think there was one day I came home and I crap you not, she is watching. Well, he changed Bruce's shop. You guys know who Bruce's is. We won't say his. It's going to be very hard for us not to say his last name out of respect. He changed his channel for a reason, and she's watching him in his John Deere collection while she's doing her stuff around the house. I'm like, what the heck? So earlier in the week, we were eating dinner and we were doing our YouTube thing, and we saw John at Turning Wrenches go live, and I said, "You know what? Let's hop on." We
literally weren't even done with dinner yet, and it was like,
let's go. And we had a fantastic. It was a fantastic live. John's live was about 2 hours, longer than any live. We all had a great time. A lot of great people there. Ken was there. Bruce was there himself. So, and then that transpired into on Steve Small's Engines Live too. Met a lot of great people. A lot of great questions. Fantastic.
Yeah. And I have to say, when the Mr. talks about I'm running lives, I got to tell you guys, the way I pack out a schedule between the two of us, when he tells you we barely get a chance for TV, when I say I'm running your lives, I literally will have work, like I'm talking after I get out of my main career and I'm home and I'm doing my side hustles. I literally will have one of your lives going on a phone. He will be doing his hustle on the side. We're always appreciating what you do, and we're checking in and we're following. And for me personally, this is how I learn more about this.
Yes.
I am a firm believer, if you don't know about something that you want to know more about, please educate yourself. At the end of the day, we are in an era where there are so many educated people out there doing what we want to know more about. And I also believe we're in a time where there are a lot of people talking, but not educated. And there are so many platforms out there with people who have a lot of really wonderful information to lend, and it's right at your fingertips. Educate yourself. Education is so powerful, right? Mm-hmm. There's always something to learn. That's how I feel. I don't know how you feel, but I feel like I'm always learning. And the day that you stop learning, throw it in. Throw the towel in. Nobody should ever stop learning.
Happy New Year, Mr. Matthew Olson, Dr. Two Stroke, Two Cycle of Chainsaws. I wonder what is your first project? I know you have multiple projects, but what is your true fresh start, fresh build for the 2021 year?
Maddie, this is the year.
10 Small Engines. Happy New Year. Great hopping in out and seeing you along the way during this whole week. Dick Small Engine Repair.
Good to see you.
Have these on with all in the chat. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Health is very important to us, and with health comes happiness.
Absolutely.
Spoke about this. I was not late.
Thomas, we love you.
Mr. Wifey Cup. Listen, whatever's clean, I just there is no theme. Good morning, Nicholas. How are you? Good morning, Jamie O'Hara. How are you? Welcome. Welcome. Tell us where you're from and if you're getting snow. That is the whole thing. If you're new, always have to answer that question.
And the missus is always curious. Are you here to have fun? Are you learning to tinker, or you might just blow us away? Sometimes it's funny when we meet people on Instagram or through this community and we're like, oh, so do you tinker, do you this? And sometimes they've literally been in this small engine world or diesel mechanics or whatever it may be. And they're like, I've been doing this for 50 years. And it's like, that's awesome. They're kind of just checking in. And this is just something that they find interesting to get involved in. Bill, Nostradamus Mrs. is saying yes.
No, wait. Now, who do you have a bet with about snow? I think you never worked out the details.
Yes. If anyone does not know, I have a bet going with Ken at Ken's Small Engine Repair that if we get a snowstorm here in February, that Ken is going to give me the most beautiful of snow angels.
Oh, from Connecticut.
It's going to be beautiful.
We had sleet last night. She was outside barbecuing, and it was sleeting.
Let me just say this. Y'all know that I had made my big, beautiful Weber barbecue purchase approximately 2 years ago. But there is one thing that the missus gets me tight in the panties. I can't stand getting my girl wet. That probably all just shouldn't have been in the same sentence. Rewind. So last night, I knew when the rain was coming, and I wanted to make this stud muffin, a beautiful grilled barbecue chicken steak salad. And I'm out there, and I thought I timed it right. Well, boy, oh boy. All of a sudden, not only was it rain, it starts sleeting on my poor grill. So there I was. I had to sit there, and I'm grilling, and I'm trying to rush it up. And of course, Murphy's Law, what's going to happen? Not only is it sleeting, but what's going to have to be changed in the middle of grilling? My dang propane tank. So of course, the propane tank has to get changed. So now what am I doing last night as it's sleeting? You think I'm putting the cover back on her or leaving her exposed all night? I'm out there with a towel, wiping her down, covering her up. But yes, for those of you new to the Pate Performance family, the missus does all the grilling. I'm the grill master. I feel like 2021, I need to get myself like one of those aprons, grill master. I feel like I've earned it. I am I'm a bad rear end behind the grill. I've got one of those like Wi-Fi systems on it. I can get like two hands going at the same time. Pretty passionate about my grilling. But anyway, on to bigger things. Jamie O'Hara says she's from Cloud. Jamie, now pardon me, because I know I've had family, Jamie, that I've actually had an aunt and I had an uncle by Jamie. So Jamie, you say you're from Gloucester, Massachusetts?
MA, which would be Maine, right? Isn't MA Maine? Because Massachusetts, Maine. Because MD is Maryland. Contract with many small engine pieces of equipment, need to keep them operational. Absolutely. Keeping them operational, and we talked about this before, we do snow removal, and people all the time question our prices. We are not the cheapest when it comes to snow removal, but we are reliable. And with reliability comes with a great machine and a strict regimen of maintenance. And sometimes that maintenance includes backups. And what they take for face value, they don't see behind the scenes, and also can't figure out that, we have two very nice, high quality Ariens, many more as backups. Okay. They don't know how much these machines just cost up front. And with, Jamie, if you have all these many pieces of equipment, if you drop them off and have somebody else repair them, that is mucho dinero. So it's always good to take the initiative and do it yourself. I can't stress this more than enough. Where we live, on average, the snowblower, a repair shop local to us is $300 per machine for your average tune-up. That is not including repairs. So we have 14 snowblowers in our private collection, times that by 300, because even though if we don't use them every year, I go through them because you never know when you will need them. Our collection, our fleet is not a facade. They are all operational and upgraded to a certain way. As if anything was to ever happen, I would just roll them out and keep it moving.
But I should emphasize, I have to give my baby girl credit where credit's due. Although we have backups, Mrs. Pate's Arians, she just goes strong the entire storm.
Yeah, so we'll talk about my project.
So there's no
later
backup
on.
needed for her.
So we have a question here, Snap-on or Milwaukee. As you guys know, I turn wrenches as a professional career. But on the hindsight, I work on a lot bigger stuff. Smaller stuff is here. I 110%, without a doubt, never, ever, ever, I will never, ever question a quality tool. Snap-on Milwaukee have their qualities. So I'm going to sit there and say this. I'm going to say Snap-on hand tools, your ratchets, your sockets, your wrenches, okay? Screwdrivers, you can get away with a different set of screwdrivers. You guys seen it on my channel. What do I use cordless-wise? I use Milwaukee. I run the M12 series at home and at work. I do not see the need to run the M18. And I know there are some guys at my job that do run the M18, and I think they are foolish and they kind of know it too. One of the guys at my job bought, he didn't have to, but I'm in the same, I buy things I don't have to. He bought the 1-inch Milwaukee cordless impact with freaking GPS Bluetooth on it. This thing cost mucho dinero. I would never make that investment. And it's just to do tires. Really, I don't know why he would do that, but so that's a great piece of equipment to have, but that thing is heavy as hell. Even the M18, half-inch, to bust tires too. Those are heavy too. I rather just, our shop supplies us with a 1-inch gun. I rather just use that, and I rather put it towards a couple of more niche or diagnostic tools that would help me before I go out and spend that type of money. But great question. Snap-on is also guaranteed for life. If you want to talk about Snap-on electric tools versus Milwaukee electric tools, Milwaukee beats them all the way. Snap-on, you're guaranteed like 2 years, and that's it. Milwaukee is 5 years on the tools, 3 years on the guarantee. And I have a video. I've used Milwaukee's warranty service, and it was phenomenal. And the money that you save going to Milwaukee compared to Snap-on, it's a huge difference. But then again, there's a couple of tools that Snap-on has that just can't be rivaled. If you're a mechanic or anything like that, Snap-on's ball joint kit and their air hammer, the best in the business. The best in the business. And you will not find another tool that will surpass. And there are a lot of copies. You cannot. Hands down, cannot. We'll elaborate on this, or if you guys are still using air tools. I still use air tools within reason. A great, great, great brand, AirCat. 2-year guarantee on the tool. Very quiet, very powerful. The early stages of my channel, you'll see some of my AirCat tools. On Instagram, you'll see me post pictures. I'll be using AirCat tools. I do a decent amount of metal work at work. So AirCat for air tools, except for when an air hammer, you need an air hammer, get a Snap-on, okay? And then hand tools, Snap-on, electric cordless tools, Milwaukee, hands down, the best out there, 110%, 110%.
Just to piggyback, because I know sometimes we always like to, on Patty's Performance, to keep in mind the average homeowner or someone who's not working on small engine.
Homeowner tools you can get Milwaukee at Home Depot.
Here at Patty's Performance right now in our household, we have expanded the Milwaukee tools. I have the Milwaukee jigsaw, the circular saw.
Yeah, for the house.
I also have the Milwaukee cordless vacuum. And I have also expanded out with even getting him something I know sounds, someone might think absolutely absurd. He's actually used it this past year. Finally, I got him the Milwaukee heated jacket, the thermal zip up, which he found rather pleasant during this last storm. So I will say I enjoy the fact that the batteries are all interchangeable. And I have to be honest, at the point when I bought some of the circular saws and the jigsaw saws, I was looking at some of the Ryobi tools at the time. And I have to be honest with you, I wasn't impressed with the long-term reviews and the durability of the products. And then at the end of the day, if he's running some of the Milwaukee tools already and has the battery packs, it was kind of redundant for me to get anything other than Milwaukee for the home because we can share the battery packs.
That's very important.
Little tidbit for you. And again, I know for some of you legends, I'm speaking to the choir right now, but for those of you who are new to this game, don't be shy for some of your battery packs, or if you run some Milwaukee tools, don't be afraid to look on Craigslist. There are always some people who are selling some of the tools minus the battery packs or the tools with the battery packs. I have actually had, and I'll get to this question in a second, I've had success, believe it or not. Some people will say you cannot walk into a Home Depot and you cannot negotiate the price on a Milwaukee set. I beg to differ with you.
Yeah, but there was a story behind that where they messed up.
No, I beg to differ. The one time I've also walked in there, you've got to come in with your ads and your advertisements of other places, not a Craigslist, not an eBay, but you've got to walk in there. If they've ever held a promotion within 90 days, they say, if you go up to a representative, they say they will not honor it. They absolutely will honor it if you push it hard enough, and you do not have to be part of the pro program to have it honored. So remember, and they're definitely flexible with the Milwaukee promotion. So if you're just the average homeowner, definitely stretch some of those flexibilities with some of the promotions there as well. I know there was a question that we talked about.
So we'll answer the question. We'll go to the comments. So the old Toro 1032 snowblowers are reliable, like the movie Fargo. Anything will go through old Toros. Okay, so we absolutely love old Toros. There is a model that I dislike whatsoever, and that's just because of parts and cost, the lack of parts. And if there are parts, the cost is crazy. We always talk about, the end game. Listen, we're going to get old at some point. It's going to happen. Do you think we're going to be able to schlep around our 1128s? I mean, the Hemi supercharged 1128, that's a heavy what. And I'll do a video on that. I had some issues with it. It's still under the research and development and project phase. But I had about 3 hours worth of runtime and playtime on it before it let a demon out. And it can be contained. I just have to find some time to get at it. You guys have seen that I have Hemi swapped a Toro 3521, right? Rubber solid tires where I don't have to worry about air ever getting to them. Because remember, when you get old, you really want to bend down and air up tires, so that's a good factor. Parts are still readily available for it, because if you guys remember, I actually went through that machine with a fine-tooth comb. That was a restyle, restoration, repower. We upgraded it and we customized it. And I had such a pleasurable experience with it that I tackled a Lawn Boy 522R, which is on the channel. Unfortunately, that required a lot more work. Some of the work was created by me, and then some of the work was just the machine was a lot of rust and whatnot, and a lot of heating and beating and torching and cutting. When it was all said and done, the profit on that, if you want to factor in my time, was negative. But I definitely had, it's always satisfying to, bring a machine back to life from that extent. Those are the builds that I like to do as much as they consume my time. So I think in the end game, as we go on in years, I don't know what we're going to do with our collection, but I think we're gonna have to downsize, and definitely an older Toro, the 3521, will most likely may come back to the channel. Okay, I was in a little bit of conversation with Arians. We have a build that's been going on for a year that I actually started on the channel and stopped. I was always under the assumption, because I've had this build for so long, that it is a compact 24. It's actually a compact 22. Okay. If I could somehow install tracks on it, that might be a very good contender for the end-all snowblower for when we get older. But we'll upgrade it along the way, of course. But yes, absolutely love Toros. The drum style augers, I think, are very unique. And then the Toro 3521, no drum style auger in that, very traditional, but a fantastic machine as well. Lawn Boy, fantastic machine as well. Parts are still readily available. And to me, that's what's important. Everything I sell, within a certain reason, I have to be able to repair. And I feel if I was to sell this particular style snowblower, this Toro line, that it just can't be repaired, and I just can't put my reputation on there. I'm sorry, I just can't. Are you ready to answer your question?
And I'm sorry, did you just say that you had to think about machines for when we're older? Baby, I don't know about you guys. I'm aging like a fine wine.
So I love half-inch 8-18 from lawnmower blades. If you guys go through my channel,
no more.
The M12, we'll do lawnmower blades, frozen pulleys on snowblowers and lawnmowers, and do the tires on our cars.
Okay.
So
I was just there. Ooh. Stop playing with my computer, kid.
Brandon, welcome to the channel. You know the deal. Tell us where you're from. Do you get snow?
Okay, so last night we were talking about gas on hands, and guys and gals, there is a difference between diesel and gas. Well, I could barely see my face here.
You don't need to see your face.
No. Who's talking to you?
How do people join and they don't know what we're talking about?
Anyway, you're obnoxious. So let's talk here. First, let's talk hands. Obviously, as was mentioned last night on Steve's Saloon, Ken Small Engines, we were talking about gloves. I mean, but let's be honest. I mean, I can't speak for all of you. When I know I've ever been out there helping the mister, or even when I'm doing anything in the garage to help whatsoever, I have out there for the mister gloves to put on. The chances of the mister actually putting on gloves are slim to none. Is that the right way to do things? No, it's not. If you want to know right and wrong, it's not. It's just not how he's comfortable working. I'm not here to disagree with that. So as far as getting rid of the smell in his hands, there's a few things. There's something called, and this is called Golfer's Solvent. This is it's called Golfer's Hand Saver. And there's actually a website you can go to for this. You could also be found on eBay as well. The key ingredient in something like this, you could make something like this on your own. Something like this is made with more of almost like an Epsom salt. And the key ingredient is lemon. Like a lemon citrus oil. Citrus-based. Now, it's no surprise. Many of you have asked me before, what is one of your side hustles? And I can't call it a side hustle. I own an LLC on it. It's Young Living. Not every citrus and lemon oil is considered equal. and make sure it's pure. Make sure it's plant-based. Plant-based is going to be what's going to actually get that gasoline smell out. I know Young Living's lemon and citrus oils are plant-based. That's what gets it out of his hands. He also uses this as well. Clothing. Clothing is also where we've had, I have to tell you, citrus, lemon, none of it's getting it out of the clothing purely.
That's mostly diesel.
That's going to be diesel. I have to tell you, this took years of us being together, old wise tales, tricks. What finally gets it out of the uniforms, the good old Dickies, I soak the article in good old water and Coca-Cola. So for those of you, and God rest my mother's soul, she used to drink Coca-Cola on a regular basis. For those of us who have talked about soaking rusty tools in Coca-Cola, guys and gals, it also gets it out of the diesel, out of uniform. So it kind of scares me to think what's truly in that beverage. But if you soak the article of clothing in Coca-Cola and then let it sit overnight or sit during the day in a basin or a tub or a bucket, then rinse it out with nice hot water and then throw it in a regular load once or twice, you would never even know. And he actually has been in predicaments where he has come home and I know the first thing you would probably say is just ditch the whole article of clothing. In some people's line of work, such as his, there are some articles of clothing he is not permitted to just throw out. So we've had to take care of it. And I'll be honest with you, I am sorry. I am one of those wives that I do not, you know the term gang wash. I'm not allowing my husband's clothes to just be thrown in with anything. I take some pride in how my husband walks out the door in the morning and what he puts on his body when he was at work. So good old Coca-Cola. So golfer's hand solvent, anything citrus, anything lemon. I know Thomas Andrews last night was also on Steve's Saloon. Dawn dish soap, I know he was mentioning as well last night. But I have to tell you, I know, yes, Maddie, many years of working in a dentist office myself, you know what it does to the enamel on your tooth. So yes, it works brilliantly with gasoline and with the diesel as well. So at the end of the day, those are the little tricks of the trade. But I didn't want to skip by, where was it? There was a comment, Roger, thank you so much. I just want to say that's really appreciated. And we do not, I know we might have been caught up in the chat last night, but we do go back and we do watch lives when we have a chance again. And I want you to know that the one thing about Pate's performance, and maybe this is where he always says we're the worst YouTube channel ever.
Yeah, we are. Don't ask us for YouTube advice. Our metrics are terrible.
Our metrics are terrible.
But we understand.
Our views are through the roof. And our subscribership, if our subscribership matched our views, a friend of mine just had a milestone with her YouTube channel. She's at 517,000 subscribers. And my other girlfriend just hit 211,000. And they're the most humble individuals you'll ever find.
For the record, we don't care about ourselves.
and at the end of the day, I have to be honest with you, we are so much more about just who our subs are. And don't get it wrong, my two girlfriends are running beautiful channels and they love their subscribers. They are still those people who are responding back. And that's what I also want to say. We are definitely still, which I'm so proud about, we're still those subscribers. I mean, we're still those people who, truly believe, like, who are we to ever tell any channel, like, how to run their channel, what to do with their channel?
No, we give advice.
We give some advice, but it's always kind of like, just how we would actually do our own thing, and whether it's right, whether it's wrong.
It's supposed to be
it's
fun.
from the heart.
It's supposed to be fun.
It's supposed to be from the heart. And the one thing we always tell everybody, we're so not about the drama. I think when you go into this community and please don't underscore what I'm about to say. I know that there are YouTube channels that you need to do this because it needs to be an additional source of income for your family. And I commend you for that. I truly do. I think it's wonderful if you find another way to supplement your income or help your family. That's always commendable. But at the end of the day, never sit there and never jeopardize your morals, your values, and never forget where you truly have come from. And just remember, whether you're at a 300, 5,000, 10,000 subscribers,
Kaiser.
guys, at the end of the day, there's always going to be channels that have far more than you. There's always going to be channels that are far grander than you, than us. Who are we to sit here, right? And ever sit here and say that we are such big dogs?
No.
We're all, honestly,
I'll never do
guys,
that.
I hate to break it to you, with accounts that have 500,000, 200,000, there's million thousand accounts. At the end of the day, we're all just little fish in this big pond.
So anyway, he asked a
right?
great question. I do small engine repair. How do people find you to fix their machines? I know you do small engine repair. I see you on Facebook Marketplace, pal. Anyway, how do you find people to fix their machines? So we do zero advertising. You guys have seen in a video where a gentleman asked me to repair his snowblower, right? And what did the guy do, right? That we all missed it. Well, maybe we didn't miss it. Hold on. Let me go back to the question so people could know. I don't know why you took it off. So anyway, this guy dropped off his snowblower for repair for a no start, no run condition. And all I had to do was turn the fuel shut-off valve on. That's it. Okay? Would you charge him or would you not? I chose not to charge him. I'm not going to charge him my bare minimum. You guys could have your own bare minimum, right? I do have a fee just to look at your machine, but if you choose to go through with the repair, it goes towards the repair. I don't work for free. Not many people work for free. If anybody asks you if it's free, just ask them, do you work for free? And if their answer is no, then why should I? So anyway, I worked for free at that moment. What I have done is I have created an advertisement for me. If somebody needs small engine repair or something in general, I do a little bit of automotive repair as well, that person is going to tell his family, his friends, and everybody in the community. A lot of my repairs are in the community. I do have a handful of people that I repair outside of our community. The farthest would be the Hamptons. And then from there would be like the Smithtown area from people who are familiar with Long Island. If not, then, you're probably looking at the Hamptons. That was over an hour ride. Smithtown was about maybe a 35, 30-minute ride, give or take a little bit.
If you would travel out of state, people would love it.
But those fees are incorporated. We do charge a pickup and delivery fee, but if you choose not to, just drop it off and we'll take care of it. So zero advertisement. People will catch on to what you do. I do not advertise what I do, but people will see that I put out. We're high volume here. Right? Listen, 38 snowblowers in 48 hours.
Yeah. Right.
That's high volume. All right. If you go through my channel with COVID and all that, right? I ran out of lawnmowers. I forgot how many lawnmowers. I spent $1,500 on running machines that had already been serviced from another flipper who couldn't sell them, so I could sell them. He made a little bit of money. We made a little bit of money, right? I could be home doing nothing, or I could be out there doing something. I could not keep up. People will catch on, and then people will ask, hey man, do you do repairs? Yes. But I would sit there and say on a community basis, okay, you're in West Islip, see if there is a West Islip community page. In some community pages, you are not allowed to advertise your business, which I understand, or your whatever. People are allowed to ask questions. I have a snowblower that needs to be fixed. Who do you guys recommend? Then you could promote yourself. Okay. When you promote yourself, 110% take photographs of your work. Okay. So people just, oh, there's this random guy doing it. No, you have some sort of portfolio. We have a very extensive portfolio. And that was even before we started Instagram and YouTube taking these shots for this platform. And then also, okay, be honest. I cannot tell you this over and over and over again. Honesty will come a very, very long way.
Ed.
You never know. That guy with that fuel shuttle valve, how do you not know if he was testing me or not, right? Absolutely. This guy does all his own repairs and service and maintenance within reason. That's what he told me. Okay, he changed his oil. He had a new spark plug in there. Everything looked good. Doesn't run. Was that a test or not? I've had people bring cars to me and say, oh, it needs brakes. And then I go to look at it and it doesn't. Now I could easily take the money and say, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So be honest, be fair, and don't be afraid, right? We're in the 2020, right? Every cell phone within reason has a camera, right? So when you do a snowblower repair, I call this thing called show, tell, and sell, right? Show them the issue that they're having within reason. Tell them what's going on and why, and sell the repair, right? Someone brings it in for a tune-up. All right, that's easy peasy. But hey, listen, your belts are worn, your friction disc is worn, or something along the lines like that. Show them that. Okay, sell them that. I do a lot of customizations and upgrades. Okay, our snowblowers have a very good reputation in our area, so selling customization and upgrades are very easy to do. This past year was very tough to upsell things because we haven't had snow in 2 years. Then you want to compile this pandemic that we have going on. A lot of people don't have the money that they should have. So the upselling in general was a little off pattern, but in hindsight, what we did well on was with the lawnmowers. We had a lot of people taking the initiative and taking things on their own. So, again, great question. Join community pages, get yourself out there, and then you're going to fix someone's machine, even if they pay you, right? Even if they pay you to fix their machine. If you left a positive experience in your mouth, in their mind, in their heart, they will refer you. They will refer you 110%. So that's your best way to get into repairs. Zero advertising. Don't do it. Okay. Service, may I say? All right. So what question? We're going through. Hold on. Do one free repair and people. Okay. So do one free repair and people expect it the next time 110%. But that was not a free repair. That was just literally the turn of the fuel shut-off valve. Okay. There are things that I might do to the machine while I'm in there. Might be for free. Or it might be at a reduced cost. Like when I do belts on a snowblower, if I have to do one belt, pay me for the cost of the other belt, and there's no additional labor charge to it. While you're in there, you might as well just change both belts. That would be an example.
We run things through each other sometimes. There are times where he's working on a machine and he'll run in real quick and he'll say, Chris, it needs this, and that. It's going to take me this amount of time. And, he genuinely knows like the amount of time he's putting into something. And if it was something that was, he always does the right thing for himself and the business and the customer. But there's also been times where, like, I know I've said to him, you know what? That was 15, 20 minutes. And if you took it, if this person had to take it to one of the local shops, they would have kept it on this person for a week. I can't remember the specific repair that it was, but there was something right before this last storm. And I know you were questioning like the cost of what to charge the person. And I had said, we've got a storm coming in less than 48 hours. This person wouldn't have this machine back.
Yes.
If they
Businesses are
dropped it
closed.
off.
Pat Taste Performance is open.
Yeah.
You have to pay for that.
So there's also, I feel like there's that convenience cost, right? Let's be honest. I think everyone here is valuable. He's valuable. But we have a convenience cost, aren't we? We're convenient.
So I see an inquiry on Facebook Marketplace for service. I may say I dabble. Okay, we do, but we definitely, try not to. I mean, if it's there, we won't. Here's an example. The night before the storm, people were trying to get their snowblowers started. People were creating posts. Maybe Nicholas may have seen it, right? This guy wanted to pay somebody $50 to get in their vehicle with their tools and fresh gas, right? Fix his snowblower and leave. $50. Not happening.
Mm.
Believe it or not, I just commented on the post just to see what was out there, and there's nothing wrong. Somebody ended up doing that for $30, which is fine. That's positive growth. That's money in your pocket. I just value my time a little bit more differently. I think maybe that $30 could be worth it to somebody if they almost have nothing, or two, if they're literally local. This guy was maybe 20 minutes away. To me, that's not worth it. You guys know I've done mobile. I don't like it. I like being at home in my element with all my tools, which I know is very contradictory because for my main profession, I'm on the road a lot making repairs.
And can I just chime in, because I'm curious to see what everyone thinks about this.
I don't do that.
Whether this is, if we could just stop scrolling for a second, because this goes in regards to what
I get most of my customers from Google. We do not do that. On my Facebook, I post all my repairs. I got 15 snowblowers in after the storm. I always ask for review after a repair. Okay, so I guess you might have some sort of business page. We do not have a business page. We are strictly through word of mouth. I feel like with business pages and stuff like with Google and stuff like that, you could say something wrong to the wrong person and anybody could write a review. We rather just keep that home feeling. Remember, this is a hobby for us, even though we are a lot of volume and it's ran in a certain fashion. We keep that, in retrospect, old school to us. We're a little bit of new tech, with the phones and stuff like that. But as far as reviews and stuff like that, old school,
Yeah.
word of mouth.
I want to chime in, Ken, with what you're saying, and Mick, and what you're saying too as well. I feel wholeheartedly. I have a very strong. I agree with what the Mr. is saying about someone taking like $30 for a job. Coming from a place, the Mrs. did not always have it easy. I've done a lot of odd jobs myself in the past. Raising a young man on my own when my mother passed. Trust me, I worked many a jobs just to put food on the table. But at the end of the day, here's my thoughts on people who will go out at any cost. Hear me out on this, because I see this in my side hustle as well. There's people who will do what I do on the side and charge clients bare minimum. But then they're giving bare minimum. And I saw this when we did snow removal as well. Especially about 2-3 years ago, my Nicks, my Bills, who were here on the island, hear me out. When we had that big storm about 3 years ago, I cannot even tell you how inundated we were with calls as we were going down our snow removal list that year. And even this year now, because people did not learn their lesson. When you sit there and you quote people these obscene rates, $20 to remove a 10-car driveway, when you offer to go to someone's home and do a repair for $30, you're driving there, doing the repair, the whole 9 yards. Hear me out. When you set these precedents in this type of world that we live in, where people feel that they can dictate what they're going to pay you for a service, you set a really ugly precedent for everybody else trying to do what you're doing. And let me tell you, I take that and I make it work to our advantage. Because this storm, for example, we got some of those calls. We got some of those calls from people saying, well, I was quoted $50 and you're quoting me X, Y, and Z. And I turned around and I said, well, your driveway has, it's on a cul-de-sac and you're going to get plowed in. We're going to have to remove snow there. And your driveway's this wide and this many cars. And we have equipment to service and we need to get safely there. And the major part about what makes our business of removal so successful, I turned around and I told them, we don't overload our list.
That's very true too.
That person, whoever they may be, I don't like to speak badly about anyone, but they're sitting there and they're overloading their list at $25 a driveway. My guarantee, just like 3 years ago when we had that awful storm here, they're most likely either not going to get a chance to get to you. Their job is not going to either be thorough or you're not going to be happy. And at the end of the day, it's the same in my side business. It comes with a quality of work. And I feel like when you have mechanics, these road mechanics, when you have snow removal, whether it's a tutoring service, whether it's someone who's coming, we've had painters come to our home. And let me tell you, trust me, I don't want you, and this is where I want you to understand, we're speaking from experience. We've paid the cheapest person to come do the job.
We had to after the last guy screwed us.
And guess what? Guess what Mr. and Mrs. Pate's Performance learned how to do? We learned how to paint. Because guess what? Sitting there and paying the cheapest for the service doesn't mean you're getting the best service. And let me tell you, by you sitting there and quoting people in your side hustle, your side business, whatever you're doing, you are not helping the rest of us. You're not. You're setting the bar really low for people's expectations.
All right, so first and foremost,
just some food for thought.
Craig at MCN Engineering. I cannot stress this more than enough. Check him out on Instagram. He has a great build going on, something I've always wanted to do. He is repowering a mini skid steer, number one. Number two, well, actually, if you like anything shiny with metal, absolutely his Instagram. Number two, I hate quoting over the phone. Me too. But it is what it is. It's just a simple job. And I like that. When they say it's just a simple job, I ask them, how come they don't do it themselves? When people try and diagnose their machine before they bring it to me and they say, I'm like, all right, so why don't you fix it? It may come off a little brandish, but right now, in times like this, that's what people need to hear, okay? The customer does not come first here at Pate's Performance, for the most part. And sometimes, depending on how it is, sometimes it's Burger King, have it your way. But the machine will always come first. There are machines that I refuse to work on because I feel that they are not safe and they think it's okay. I'm sorry, I don't need that here. An example would be a lawnmower with a rusted out deck. The front was almost missing. I don't even know how the wheels were held on. And he didn't care. He said that he uses it to cut the brush at his house, and that his house is, his landscaping is like on he has like retaining wall after retaining wall after retaining wall. And he takes the lawnmower on where the retaining wall and just cuts I'm sorry, can't do that. Who knows? God forbid something will happen. Well, you never know. The last person who worked on it was not happening. I have turned down multiple machines because they were not safe. Not safe. Yep. And shop rate. Absolutely. Craig has a full-blown machine shop, right? So he has insurance, lights, the whole nine, plus his stuff at home. So there are a lot of things you can calculate, into your labor rate. Our labor rate has changed. My prices have changed on equipment over the years. We were talking about this with Steve at Small Engine Saloons, right? We were bringing up about how I do my machines and how I was able to increase each sale by $5 per machine, and all because I just added, some terminology and some 99-cent paint that I did, but I did it to protect myself, and it ended up turning into something else.
I want to just point out, Casey, you were talking about the rates. Casey, I have to tell you, whether it's in my business, the Mr. read a message. I'm going to give you two quick examples, one in Small Engines and one in my business. Can you just put it back up? Thank you. As far as as knowing your worth and knowing what you're good at and knowing that you're honest, you're good at what you do, and that your reputation is going to far supersede you, people are going to pay for that. The other day, I turned around to the mister, and I'll be honest with you, for my side hustle, my rates, he can confirm, they're not cheap. And this client of mine was very generous in a bonus. And I was very flattered after 19 years of doing this. It felt good, and I showed him the message that was sent to me.
Your side hustle is very niche. Well, Casey, if you're talking about snow removal.
But I'm going to speak on that, honey.
If you're talking about snow removal, right, there's only so many houses out there, right? So how many houses can somebody at $25-$30 do? Right? She said that earlier. So that's where you come in at your price. And you're going to do half the amount of work and get the same amount of money. And people want reliability. If you show up, you do a good job, guess what? Next storm, you're getting that phone call. And the same thing with the repair. You do a thorough job or do a great maintenance. Okay, we spoke about this before. I clean everything I sell, and I clean everything I repair to the best of my ability. Now, water's off because of snow blowers. I wipe the machine down and I tell them, listen, I always clean the machine before, I give it back to you. If you want, bring it back during the summer and I'll give it a good wash over, right? And that's just a quick minute, soak it with some cleaner, hit it with the pressure washer, wipe it down, get the grime out and send it back. It's not a crazy thing to do. Okay, remember, we live in a throwaway society. Okay, people are very quick to get rid of things. You need to double down the fact that this person made the right decision in choosing you and investing in you to maintain their repair.
So, Casey, exactly what I was trying to say before. When I book the clients, I literally plan out our day so that the clients literally spread us out throughout our schedule so that we're not overloaded. And basically, the clients that I'm now taking on, now they can't even get into the schedule unless they're meeting a certain criteria. And what the criteria is, what the size of the driveway is, and what I deem fit as far as price. So at the end of the day, they're knowing that you're already here on the list. You're not number 1 through 10. Now you're calling me. You are going to be like 11 or 12. But they do know that we're coming, and they do know that we're going to be there. But Casey, I have to tell you, I know he says what I do on the side is a niche. But business model is business model. That's what I try to continually bang into his head. I've been doing my model for 19 years, and it applies to what we do as well. The bottom line is to do less work and increase your rate. I see less clients at a much higher rate, but you better believe the amount of work that I need to do to support that higher rate, or the type of job that you would need to do at charging the higher rate for the snow removal, better be worth What's my famous line to you when we leave some of these jobs? I sit and I look back at the driveway and I say, I want this client to feel as if they've gotten their money's worth. Is it safe? Are the stairs clear? Is the walkway clear? We're not the cheapest, but they will get the best job. And we're guaranteed to come. I run our snow removal model no different than I run my side business. And we do really well. And it's all literally word of mouth. We've gotten in-laws, family, friends, people, neighborhood that refer us to the next person. And as long as you're always honest and you do a darn good job, go for this, reach for the stars. We had a client reach out to us recently. We weren't their cup of tea when it came to snow removal price. But the person before that reached out past this last storm, they heard about us. We gave our price, and now our prices are getting a little bit higher because our list is really where it needs to be. We can't really add too much more on. Guess what? They want us. They're willing to meet us where we're at. So you'll always sell yourself when you're good. There's no doubt about it. And what I always respect about him, and this is just so you guys know, because you don't know who he is before Pate's performance. I love the fact that the machine comes before everything else. He always does everything he does in life, wanting someone and whatever he pushes out of this house to be something he can stand behind. And I really value, and that's the same for a truck, a car. I really appreciate that about him, because I am no different in what I do in my life. I want to put my head on the pillow at night and know that the job that I did was reputable. You should always want that for yourself.
Jobs come out. I've had jobs come to me after a customer went to the cheaper route, an easy way to get customers.
You've seen that before.
I have not seen another repair shop work that has failed, but I have seen, you guys seen on my channel where people try to fix it themselves. That's what I have seen. And that's on my YouTube channel as well. I mean, if you guys go through, like, I think some of my videos is just customer interaction, right? Some of the stuff you guys are going to see that people do are crazy and wild, but you also need to keep in account that these people are taking the initiative to do it themselves. So you got to give them a pat on the back for that. There's also been a couple of contraptions that you guys I've shown you that people have done to their machines that I don't know why they've done it. Does it work better? Does it not? I mean, who knows? But, you know, in the end, it is what it is. It's all here for us to display, learn, correct. There is some entertainment to all of this. And just never forget that no matter what the customer says, the machine will never lie. And that's one thing I'll never get. I don't understand why customers lie. I have shown you guys my fair share of people lying. With that being said,
Alice brought up a good point here, honey. Did you see that? What are your thoughts on that too?
I'd rather buy, fix, and resell my own stuff than do repairs. Alice, I'd repair, not to have people want me to fix their stuff, but repairs are usually.
How do you juggle it all?
I don't.
It's hard.
I don't.
It is.
I don't.
And I'm sorry, I need to let
so
it's not
Ellis
easy.
Mowers is there are a lot of YouTube channels out there that do small engine repair. I always pitter patter back with Ellis Mowers. I think Ellis Mowers is on the same ship as me as far as volume, as far as the fix and flip. He does more of the bigger stuff like lawn tractors, but the factors are still the same. I absolutely love buying something, fixing it, and reselling it. When someone hands me money for something like that, there's something that money can't buy, and that is the enjoyment that they see value in the work that I've done. And you guys know I have to buy a lot of my machines. So my budget is a little bit tighter. But even if things go south, which you guys have seen things go south, the machine will always come first. Reputation will always come first. And I will not cut corners to jeopardize that. certain machines have to leave here operating and looking and feeling a certain way. So when I buy something, I fix it my way, invest my time, do my touch, and I resell it. That is great. Fixing stuff is great too. The one thing I like about fixing stuff is that as soon as I fix it, it's gone. We all know what happens. Sometimes you finish fixing something for a flip and it sits. And it sits.
And I like finding curb finds.
Yes.
Especially 2-cycle ones. That's my goal for 2021. More 2-cycle curb finds for him.
Yeah. So yes, 110% repairs are easy money for the most part. For the most part, repairs are easy money. But for some reason, I'd rather just go out, get a machine, do my thing, and pump it. Sorry. Repairs, they are a source of positivity to you. So I think you're foolish within reason to turn that down. Okay, I have turned down repairs for multiple reasons, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do them. But you guys seen I do repairs. Do what you feel comfortable with. But 110%, the flip and the fix is our bread and butter. But if you have zero experience, do not be doing repairs on people's machines. I cannot stress this more than enough. Start with yourself. Start with something that runs, right? Do your thing to it. Start with servicing it, because as you service the machine, you will understand how it works. You will understand how it goes back together. Then you start tackling repairs and you start building up confidence to the point where you might start tackling other people's repairs. Do not let people pay for your mistakes. Do not let people pay for your lack of knowledge. If it takes somebody who knows what they're doing an hour, but it takes you 3, don't charge them 3 hours. Charge them what is fair. But that is our market here in where we call home in our community. A lot of people in our community have a landscaper. So a lot of our flips are sold, and you guys see, listen, we're having a guy come 3 hours away. Good
morning, Rusty Rooster.
Are sold outside of our area. And I believe that is strictly to reputation. And this guy probably doesn't know knows us from a hole in the wall, but he probably has seen a couple of my machines up for sale and maybe was thinking about buying them and they disappeared, right? And this, with Google, we were talking about Google, right? If you do something bad, what's the first thing people do? They're going to put you on blast. God bless, God willing, right? We have not had that situation. We have not had, but we've gone out of our way, right? And that's why something very simple as, I have a buddy of mine who flips. He's 15 minutes from here. Great guy. Okay. Why do you put belts on every machine you sell? Well, that's cheap insurance, right? We get good money for our machines. I don't want that. I want that. When you buy that machine from me, there's used with no warranties or guarantees applied. But when you buy that machine from me, that is the best piece of equipment that's going to last you many, many years down the line. So for me, belts on a snowblower for the most part are less than $20. I get Kevlar. So, and then you include the old belts as good use spares. They could use as backups. That's your proof that the machine's been serviced too as well. So, with that being said, 110%, the flip and fix repairs for us, we're just not in that area, but we will do. I have used to turn down repairs, but slowly started doing them as my experience goes. I try not to get overwhelmed with projects all about balance. Mr. Ellis, I know what your backyard looks like. There's no shame. And we know what my backyard looks like. There's no shame. There are always going to be projects. And like I said, me and Ellis are on the same ship. Okay. Nick did a video. Rusty Rooster, how are you? Nick did a video as he was scrapping lawn equipment. It killed me because with me and Ellis and a couple, like everything has value.
I'm so proud of you this year for what you got rid of.
Yes. And everything can be saved. But it took me, 3 years to finally say, listen.
But you did it, honey.
But when I did it, I also helped out, another person who was in need. I paid it forward. So it wasn't, a terrible thing. There is no balance.
He was shaking and shivering afterwards, but it felt really good.
There is no balance. I say it, Ellis, about balance. There is no balance, right? Because everything has value. And when the season comes, like, I want to work on personal projects, right? But
whoever has time for personal anything.
I want to work on personal projects, but I can't work on personal projects that have been sitting for quite some time because I have repairs. People want to buy snowblowers. I sold all of them. Now I need to go out and get a snowblower. So there is no balance, and that's why people say our YouTube channel is all over the place. Well, that's how our life is. That's how our life is, right? It is what it is.
Welcome to it.
Yes, welcome to it. So with that being said, Ellis, thank you so much for stopping by. I know he's very busy with the house and whatnot. Ellis, great, another YouTube channel. Check out his Instagram.
Awesome. And so for so many of you who were new to coming to the live today and new to us in the last couple of weeks, some of you are some really new faces.
Yeah.
We love you all so much. We appreciate you. My grill doesn't have a nick. You don't want to know something? I haven't named.
Never.
Maybe what I need to do is a little video, Scott. Maybe y'all can help me name the grill. She's 2 years old without a name. So yeah, maybe we'll do grilling with Mrs. Pate. I grill all year long except for when she's covered in snow. But anyhoodle, we love you all so much, and we're so grateful for you.
So we've been getting, like you said, we had over 100,000 views in less than 28 days, and we like to teach everyone.
Blessings
if people
on blessings,
have questions,
my love.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Okay, we will answer them. If you want to learn, I'm willing to teach. So, with that being said, we take a lot of pride in showing people. When people comment that I did like an awesome video and it helped them, no, that video is not awesome, because that video is nothing without people like you or yourself that really want to tackle the repair, on your own. And that's how we ended up video chatting with a couple of people. So it's been a very, very wild ride this past month.
Really
but I think
cool.
once things calm down a little bit, then we'll get to go back to things as possible. You're going to see a lot of videos coming out that might be for some of you guys that are seasoned, basic. But remember, these repairs are for a lot of people. Like that
for everyone.
That subscriber who asks for a video, you might be seeing a couple of things along, that line, just trying to help people out, because Patrick's performance is bigger than that. We want to help each other out, and that's what we're going to do.
He's been getting so many people, and which is, I got to be honest, it's so cool that he's been getting a lot of newbies trying.
I'm self-taught. I was the average homeowner, so I think that we should never deny anybody that opportunity if they're willing to learn. Yes.
Bye, Henry. Love you.
Absolutely. Good day in itself.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic week. We're happy to be back live.
And we would be remiss if we didn't say our first 2021 live. Let's just put this out here on the books. 2021. Let's let this year be a year of happiness, health, abundance, learning, loving, respect, kindness, wrenching, and doing whatever it is that makes your heart happy, and being there as a community for one another for another year. And again, we hope you have a great rest of the day. And we love you so much.
Enjoy your weekend, 2021. Thank you for having us start off at a great start.
Yeah.
This has been a phenomenal week, mostly in part due to you guys. Thank you everyone that came in the chat. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
You wrote the date wrong.
And an even better year. I will edit it.
Thanks, Nick.
All right, guys. Later.